At a truck stop beside a US highway, Ricardo says he thinks a lot about lorries which can drive themselves. He's been a truck driver all his working life.
I had a dream that a trailer was actually driving down the road, and it changed over 3 lanes without putting the turn signal on.
You dreamt this?
I dreamt this.
When?
Last night.
Ricardo's dream of vehicles driven by computers is coming, but so is electricity. What will be the human consequences of 2 huge tech revolutions on our roads? We're heading into Silicon Valley in a piece of the past. A car powered by petrol and steered by a person. Technology giant Tesla wants to leave all of that in its dust. For 10 years, their mission has been to make electric attractive. Now, there are lots of manufacturers who are now making electric cars, but Tesla say they're trying to do something different. They're trying to change how we live our lives in some very fundamental ways. And cars like these are just a part of the plan. In their vision of the near future, your roof will be covered in these Tesla solar roof tiles. They'll power your entire home as well as your car. That's the dream. But across town, a startup is working on the worrying reality that most electric vehicles, or EVs, take huge amounts of power from the grid. They're building charging points which can talk to each other and balance out demand from EVs at peak times. With half the US car market predicted to be electric in a decade, without tech like this, America could black out.
Our existence is sort of facing reality. Right? It's like, oh, you know, we actually have to completely redo our infrastructure. We actually have to completely redo how we think about energy and how we manage energy.
But drivers ourselves could be gone even sooner than petrol. Look at Tesla's cars and you'll find the cameras to make them driverless are already built in. But there are others in the race to make the world's first fully self-driving car. This is test footage from AutoX, a big money startup working on a different kind of self-driving system.
Ours is going to be 100 times cheaper.
Yes, they claim this system will be 100 times cheaper than its rivals.
This is one of our testing vehicles.
The founder here is a renowned artificial intelligence specialist known as Professor X, and says his team will do it using AI and simple cameras. But what happens when a machine has to make an impossible choice, like save the passenger inside or save the pedestrian on the pavement? Your machines are going to make ethical choices, aren't they? How do you handle those sorts of decisions?
With self-driving cars, things can become safer than a human driver. So we actually don't need to have as many cases like this to have to figure out. So our hope is by pushing the technology to be extremely safe. We don't need to make this kind of difficult decision.
So in short, he says self-driving cars will be so safe we don't need to think about it. But there's a bigger question about this army of machine drivers funded by Google, Uber and others now being tested on California's roads. When the testing is over, is this what unemployment looks like for the 8 million people in the US alone whose living depends on driving?
What I foresee as a real possibility is that the kind of automation and the way it's being managed is leading to the kind of disruption in the labor market and among workers that will ultimately produce incredible unrest.
Back at the truck stop, Ricardo doesn't think robot drivers are coming in time to take his job. It doesn't concern you?
No, it doesn't concern me. No. We're still a long ways away from being without drivers. A long way.
But the companies in Silicon Valley would disagree. They're now on to the final problems separating us from an all-electric, all-self-driving future. It will be up to governments to solve the problems that come next. Dominic Reynolds, 5 News in California.